Kuala Lumpur roughly translates as muddy city, but it's come a long way from its rainforest days. It's not just the monkeys that swing through the trees. Yay! Right, I'm with Dion Verco, who's an interior designer here in KL. Okay, what are we looking at today?
Mate, we're at the Tropicana Grand. It's an apartment development by DJI Corporation. 328 units, 4 towers.
And you've designed this whole suite?
I have.
So, over that time, how have things changed? How are your designs changing now?
Well, I think when I first arrived, the interior design industry wasn't really established in Malaysia. So I think it's gone through quite a dramatic change. And as more of materials and goods have come into the market, obviously the design has changed as well. So right. what we've tried to do over time is we've stepped more into contemporary Western style living with some Asian elements inside. I think that's probably the general design direction, even architecture.
So you do a lot of apartments. Talk me through what you're doing here. What's different about this?
Okay, I think what's different about this is one of the things the architect did was put full height glazing, and in this kind of price range to do that is quite an investment by the developer. So what we've done is we've tried to kind of radiate off the full glazing and made a kind of an open design, which is, I don't know, it's a little bit different in Malaysia. Typically it's a closed room, so we've actually tried to open up space and have connections between spaces.
Over the years you've designed big houses, small houses, little apartments in the city, bigger apartments like this. Where's the market going for you? I mean, you've obviously invested in property as well,
absolutely.
Designed them. So where do you see it going over the next 10 or 15 years?
I think definitely in the city, you'll definitely start to get smaller apartments just because of price. Even though I think the government would like more people to live in the city, it's just the land becomes too expensive. So it's like most cosmopolitan cities, the units get smaller, but they get around the same price range as maybe 20 years ago when you get a twice the size unit.
Sure.
Okay, but then I think the suburbs will start to expand, and that's where you get a slow shift of luxury to a lot further distance from the city centre. So I think it's just going to be a continuation of what is already on the market. It's just that it's going to be further away from the city centre.
3 years ago when I met Gary Tan, this wasn't even a hole in the ground. Now you can see we have a massive building with I think about 160 units in it. So Gary, any challenges with building this?
Actually, this job started about 2 years ago, and as an experienced developer, and this is a very straightforward job.
Okay.
And we are lucky this place is built on solid ground. We don't have any difficulty technically in building this building.
Okay, so let's go and have a look at the show flat. The elevators aren't working yet. It's going to be a bit of a sweaty climb up the stairs. Come on, Gary. Oh, air can't last. Okay, so, wow, this is beautiful. So this is a 3-bedroom unit, right?
Yeah, this is a type A units, standard units, 1,500 square feet.
Okay. This comes fully kitted out like this. So we bought these for our clients, completely furnished. So literally, suitcases, tenant can move straight in, correct?
Yeah, just bring in your luggage. Everything is done.
Let's get on to pricing, right? That's what people are watching this for, okay? So we paid about 650 ringgit a square foot, which puts these units at about 1 million ringgit. So for those that are looking at US dollars, about 320,000 US, maybe 180,000 pounds, something like that. People made any money yet?
I think so, because for the last 1 year, the property in Malaysia has enjoying some uptrend market. And I believe they have gained about 10% in capital gain. Okay,
so in 9 months, you could be renting this place. I think my clients have done pretty well. I don't know about you, but I'd certainly rent it out. It's a nice freehold apartment, 3 bedrooms. Not too bad, eh, Gary? And now for something very different. Gary, this is a low-rise residential development for domestic Malaysians, right? What was the thinking behind this?
Actually, this development is unique by itself, and the concept for this project actually is we wanted to build something for home living with lifestyle. So there are altogether 54 acres here, and we only built 380 units of houses.
So who's buying these? What kind of people are buying these?
Our target market for this type of development actually is for the local rich people, successful professionals, senior professionals.
Okay, so for people watching this at home, it's not so much a property investment for them, but just showing you what kind of thing is being done in Malaysia right now. These people have got what's the commuting to work for them?
Well, from here to the city centre takes about 20 minutes, and it's actually in the suburb.
See, very different from the West. You've got parents buying these with money to put their kids in them so they can then go and use the spare room. You wouldn't see that in England or Australia or wherever, would you? Very, very different from what we've been looking at so far, but I think very interesting in terms of the way Malaysians moving. Malaysians want to be in comfortable properties, be them big penthouse apartments or nice spacious houses like this, you know, close to the city centre. 10 years ago, this would have been swampland or mangrove or, you know, banana plantations, right?
10 years ago, I think it's a plantation.
How the world's changing. So here I am outside a large bungalow in Bukit Bintang. This is in the Golden Triangle of KL. It's the most sought after area for developers. That's where they're building the big high-rise condos and commercial buildings around here. It's absolutely amazing to think that you can have a house like this so close to the CBD. And that's a unique thing about KL and so different from the rest of Asia. It's so affordable. Case in point, this unit's in Mongkiara, what's known as the Jewel of Kuala Lumpur. This is a high-class residential area where much of the international community is based. Here, one can find many white-collar professionals and other foreigners who opt for the best that the city has to offer. Top schools are nearby, and if that's not enough, this area is affordable, with prices that are much lower than what can be found in the city centre. Okay, time for a case study. I bought 2 apartments here in Bukit Bintang on the outskirts of the CBD in February 2006. A 1-bedder and about 775 square feet, and a bigger 3-bedroom I'm going to show you in a minute. As you'll see, they've had very mixed fortunes. This particular apartment's a 3-bed unit. It's about 448 square feet, and I paid roughly about $1 million Malaysian ringgit for this place, which is about 337 US dollars. When I bought it, the big selling point for me was the fact that you can look back to the city and there's a fantastic golf course, the Royal Sri Lanka, which you can see this way. Unfortunately, the biggest downside with this unit over the last few years has been someone's been building a massive new building next door, and this is the issue in Asia. Someone's always building something, so rentals have not been what they really should have been, unfortunately. That said, the last 6-12 months since they've stopped building, I'm getting about 6.1% on the yield, so absolutely superb yield. Another little downside for me, I've got a 1-bed in here, which has gone up by about 30% because we're really close to the city centre here. This is a 3-bed and it's gone up by about 5%. So sometimes it's well worth looking at 1-beds when you're in a city centre. They normally appreciate by more. When buying Asia returns, an opportunity to see something different in the KL property scene. And we'll take a spot of Devonshire cream tea during our trip to the Malaysian highlands.
Shall I pour you tea?
Why not? What a good idea.